Alright guys, my name is Freeloader MC, and today I want to talk a little bit about a card from the new Hearthstone expansion, Whispers of the Old Gods. And I want to talk about Yogg Saron, Hope's End. So this is the 10 mana 7/5 that casts you a random spell for each spell that you've cast during the game. So what this means is that once you play it, a whole bunch of spells just randomly cast itself, and all the targets are completely random. So obviously this is a card where almost anything can happen. So first things first, the stat line, I think we can all agree, is pretty horrible. 10 mana for a 7/5 is pretty damn horrible. Like, you're not looking to play this card for the stats. So moving on from that. The effect itself is pretty hard to judge because it's so random. Like, it could have a small effect such as like a arcane blast, or say like circle of healing, or it could go anywhere to like pyroblast or lay on hands. The targets that you cast from the spell is completely random. Like, it could hit your opponent, it could hit you, whether it's a positive effect or a negative effect. It can go anywhere. So yeah, it's really hard to judge how good this card actually is because the possibilities of this card is endless. What I will say though, that if you're losing the game, this card, it can be a really good way to get yourself back into the game because, well, if you're losing the game already and this card just completely falls flat on you and you lose the game because of that, well, the chances of you losing the game already were pretty high to begin with, so you don't have too much to lose there. Whereas if you were to get a really good positive effect with this card and it brings you back into the game, then I think you pretty much got your mana's worth there. Like, say you're about to lose and Yogg Saron like casts a fireball on yourself. Like, you're about to lose anyway, so I don't think that really matters too much. Well, say if you're about to lose and this card casts like a winning pyroblast to your opponent's face, then in that case, you know, this would be a really good card. The problem with this logic though is that most people play Hearthstone to not lose. So if you're already losing and you're depending on this card to get you back in the game, then something's wrong. You should not be playing Hearthstone to depend on this one card to get yourself back in the game. You should be trying to win the game at all times, or at least trying to control the game so that you can win at a later time. Competitive wise, I really don't see this being a good competitive card just because it's so random. Most cards with RNG effects this massive are generally not played because of its unreliability. However, this will be probably one of the most fun cards to play with. Probably will be on Trolled video after Trolled video. Yeah, this is going to be definitely a really fun card, just not competitive wise. And of course, this doesn't really need to be said, but to control its ability, you would use like spare parts, or say like a rogue deck that plays a bunch of really low mana spells, and possibly control decks, because control decks tend to play a bit more spells than usual. But yeah, that's just what I gotta say about this card. Not the most competitive card, but it's definitely a really fun card to just experiment around with. Definitely a card I'm looking forward to when this expansion finally comes out. I'm looking forward to all the crazy RNG-ness that this card comes with. Alright, so that's it for today. My name's Freeloader MC, and I'll see you guys on the next card review.